You dip, 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 I dip, you dip, I dip, he dip, she dip, I dip, you dip, I dip, he dip, she dip, I dip.
It's just another ordinary Joe show.
It's the 5th of May, 2017, Cinco de Mayo, for all you Latina friends of ours out there. Cinco de Mayo, that's a big party, isn't it?
That's right. And now let me jump in here and introduce, it's my pleasure to introduce you, the show host.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Joey Salvador, Mr. Ordinary Joe to many of you. And so let me just read off the credentials here for you. I have 10 years experience in broadcast quality television, radio, and just overall multimedia. Well loved, respected, and renowned.
Whoa. Hold on, buddy. None of that is true.
It's right on the cards here.
Where'd you got that?
This is right there.
That's the other guy's card, man. This is mine.
Oh, sorry.
These are my credentials.
Sorry. Let me start again here. All right. So, very little knowledge in overall production of a talk show.
That's what we're talking about.
No experience in production sets. No hosting of a talk show. No television production. Okay. No sound editing or podcast experience. He was cut from the band before the band made their first album. His only experience holding a microphone was at a karaoke party. The only video appearance you've ever made was on security footage. The only time you've ever interviewed somebody was during a job interview where the employer asked if you have any questions for him. Do you have any acting experience?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, where? When?
In a skit at the church.
Okay. Do you have any musical experience?
I sang at the choir.
Okay.
At the church.
Okay. Any instrument? Do you play any instruments?
Tambourine.
Right. Okay. Let me guess.
At the church.
All right. So with all this in mind, you're just gonna produce your own talk show now?
Absolutely.
How dare you?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? What you see is what you get here. A very ordinary guy from every angle, all perspectives.
That's it.
But you know what? No one's given him a chance, and he's daring and creative enough to do it on his own. So let's give him this opportunity. And without further ado, your host, Mr. Joey Salvador, Mr. Ordinary Joe.
Thank you very much, Chris. That was so generous, and welcome to the show.
Come on, carry on, come on. The lights is on, but they barely home. Cause they thoughts is gone. They worried about tomorrow. They thinking about tonight. Don't think it'll be alright. Cause they can't complain. Cause they pain is not the same. Have you looked into their eyes? Window pane into their brain. Cause yeah, they wanted to change. And yet they wanted to leave. But all they really just needed was somebody to
Today's guest is an accomplished hip-hop recording artist. He made a name and wide recognition in the hip-hop industry of Manitoba. He's an entrepreneur, an artist, a music and song composer, photographer, a rapper, a video editor, sound editor, an artistic collaborator, a philanthropist, a father to a young 16-month-old boy, a husband, a son, a big brother, and a good buddy to many who calls him friend. And it's my pleasure to also call him my friend. I'm very excited to introduce our special guest today, Kris St. Clair, also known as Saint Kris in the hip-hop community. Hey, Kris, thank you for helping me convey the story of how this show was conceptualized with that little skit you did with me at the beginning of the episode. The message we are trying to convey here is that you don't need the highest qualification to start your own art. You don't need to wait for someone to give you an opportunity, a chance to prove yourself to the world. Nobody gave me an opportunity, so I gave myself that opportunity I needed. And thanks to my awesome guest today, he's also giving me a chance to interview such a high-profile guest when others had declined. In my quest to develop this podcast, I sought the Lord God for direction. The revelation I received was very clear, was to seek after ordinary people and don't join the bandwagon going after A-listers for interviews. Just as I am an ordinary everyday Joe, there are many ordinary Joes and Janes walking the face of the earth who possess the greatest potential to do mighty work of the Lord, even if they didn't know it. I am an ordinary Joe. This is partly my story. My guests are ordinary Joes and Janes doing extraordinary work with special anointing from God, and these are their stories. Welcome to Just Another Ordinary Joe Show.
It is my privilege to introduce my guest, who's also an ordinary Joe, but unlike me, he's got so much to show for. At the end of this episode, if I'm able to promote you and let you tell your story, that will be my credential. Fair enough?
Hey, fair enough.
All right, that's the idea. That's the idea. That's
Much
why you don't want a talk show host who has so many credentials, or else we're not going to be able to focus on our guest right here. Very long time coming,
Yes.
and now finally we're here, and I am so excited that you're very gracious, and thank you very much for sitting down with me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
When I first invited you to come and sit with me, it was for a different reason. I saw you presenting your wedding shoot that you did, and that's when you agreed, yeah, we'll sit down. And little to my knowledge, that eventually I found out that you're actually a recording artist, and a very good one.
Oh, thank you.
So I
Appreciate
felt like this was like a gold mine of a find for me because I was just looking for ordinary people who would be willing to sit with me.
Right.
I never in my dreams
Thought I was ever good enough to invite a recording artist.
Yeah, I checked her out. She was fine and all. I heard good things that she was kind and all. But
so the way I like to introduce my guests is throw them a challenge.
Sure.
I want my viewers to know what my guests are made of.
Okay.
Right? Unless I throw them a challenge, then they have to take my word for all my introduction.
Right.
Anyways, here's a challenge. Are you game?
I'm game.
Awesome. Having your breakfast.
Right.
And then you notice on the cereal box, there's like a little tab that says "Open to Win."
Okay.
Then you went ahead and pick up the box. You open the tab. It's like a strip-off tab, and you saw $1 million. You just won $1 million out of
Okay.
that cereal box.
Okay.
But as you know, many of these contests, for you to actually get the money, they got some skill testing questions.
Yeah, I know. Of
Right?
course. Of course.
So,
Yeah.
right, so you call, you pick up the phone, you call the number, and the automated system says, "You have 20 seconds to answer this
Oh, boy.
skill testing question."
Okay.
And as soon as I ask the question, the time starts. Courtesy of Cheerios.
Okay.
In 20 seconds, I want you to give me 7 names of men that starts with the letter G. And it starts right now.
Okay. Gino, George, Jerry, Guy,
You're almost there.
Gus.
2 more.
Oh my goodness. I lost it.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Herman.
3.
G.
2, 1.
Gabriel.
You just won $1 million. Hey.
I appreciate the extra seconds there. I'm sure I missed, but it gets hard. That's a tough one.
Well, because I'm your buddy, I know I get a little bit of that $1 million, right?
right,
So like a tip. So I want to make sure you win.
That's pretty good. That was a tough one.
But are you sure all of them started with the letter G? I think
Yeah, for sure.
There's one that started with letter H there.
No, Herman. My cousin Herman spelled with a G.
Oh, awesome.
That's the only reason I say that name. Growing up, I thought his name was German. But,
Oh, German.
yeah.
But it
His
was
name was
Herman.
Yeah.
There's there was a Filipino. And by the way, friends, my friend is half Filipino. Can you see it? Do you know who else is half Filipino? Who's a big star right now?
A big star right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, is Bruno Mars full or half?
Exactly. Yeah,
he
he's
full?
so Bruno Mars is half Filipino. His mom is Filipino and his dad is South American, Puerto
Okay.
Rican.
Okay.
And you're Filipino and Trinidad, right?
Right.
That's it. That's one of the best combinations
Hey.
because of Trini women. I'm telling you, man.
I agree.
Yo, that's alright. I mean, I say it again. Yo, she not my type. But then just one time, in a moment of weakness, I looked in her eyes, saw a moment of sweetness. Damn. The first time that I saw you, I ignored you. And your pretty
So for this show, I really want all our friends, all our viewers to get to know who you are, and I want them to check out your work.
Sure.
Because you made about 3 albums?
Yeah, that's roughly right, about 3 albums, yeah.
3 albums, and roughly how many songs are
Maybe
there?
10 songs each or so.
So about 30 songs. There's
Yeah.
2 of them that I really, really love.
Okay.
And I told you about it before, even
Right.
before the show. I like that beach. What do you call it? What's the title on that one again? Pretty Face.
Pretty Face, yeah.
The one where you were in the boat and your wife was also in the shot.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that very much. And Just to Get By,
yeah.
Just to Get By song.
Right.
What I really like about the second one, the second song I mentioned, it's very. It relates to a lot of people. It's very encouraging.
Right.
Okay, it's kind of a lot. All of us has to do the 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
And you were doing extra after 9 to 5. You still go to your 5 to 9.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you were doing all these gigs, writing your songs and then recording it. And we will get to that later on the business side of my questions for you. And so let's tell me a little bit about who Kris is as a person.
I'm pretty interested in creativity, creative arts. So that's where the music comes in. That's where we met in digital media and design, video editing, photography, the whole nine. I love all aspects of creativity, and so that's where the music came in. As a brother, I'm kind of just there for my sister. She also makes music and loves photography, and
Awesome.
and she's more of a hand drawing artist
Okay.
type. So I'm there to support and help her. We talk on the phone all the time. She's out in Vancouver. As a son, just regular son. My parents are super supportive. I played lots of basketball growing up. Also did some karate, and they were at every game or tournament. My mom was like cheering. She's really active cheering, so she's like screaming, jumping.
In the karate class?
Karate, she's like hitting the audience. She's very active. My dad's super quiet guy.
Is it because mom speaks more?
I think mom does all the talking, so dad keeps in the background.
That's my marriage.
Yeah.
I'm very quiet at home. That's why I let out all the
Okay.
juice on a talk show.
Yeah, there we go. We all have our outlets. So. Then as a dad, I'm a new dad, so just trying to figure it out. My son Cole's super chill, super easy, pretty funny. So he makes it easy for me. As a husband, I'm I don't know. You'd have to ask my wife. You'd have to ask my wife that part.
Well, actually, she's here right now.
Oh,
I
no.
just I just interviewed her without your
Oh,
knowledge.
boy.
Let's watch.
Oh, no.
I haven't done that yet, but I'm thinking of doing
Okay,
it.
not yet.
Not yet. But that's in Filipino culture, the eldest son is almost like the second dad of the household. It's probably the same in Trinidadian culture.
Yeah.
Very close family ties.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Take responsibility. Help out.
And yes, and so you're a new dad. I want to kind of part of the personality of the show I'm trying to develop here is kids and family oriented show as well. So tell me a little bit more. What did it change you to be a dad? Like when your son was born?
Yeah, definitely. When my son was still in the oven, still in the
In the oven.
in the womb, baking, getting ready, we were just super excited, and we heard a lot of good stories, bad stories, how hard it will be, how your life will change, and then when he finally made his way into the world, we were pleasantly surprised. Like I said, he's treated us well. He's very calm. He slept at night. He eats well. He's funny. He's easygoing, and so that part was awesome. And then in terms of me, it's I don't know. It's just a different type of love where no matter what he needs,
Yeah.
I got him. There's no
Yeah.
option, no question. So you just kind of learn that extra level of love for your little being.
I totally relate because I have a 5-year-old myself.
Okay.
And I was just telling some of my friends because I've been in Canada by myself a little bit more than half of my life.
Okay.
And so my family is in the Philippines, but when my daughter was born, I felt like all of a sudden there's family,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So yeah, my wife is also family too, but when your child is born, it's like instant. You have the same DNA.
Yeah.
The spouse kind of takes some stages to
Yeah.
to assimilate, but we're all a unit, and that's good. And how did you meet your wife?
My wife I met in college, actually. She was a volleyball star.
Awesome.
Yeah,
The recording artist and the volleyball star. What?
She's a volleyball star. So.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, so that's how we met. Then we just kind of, we hung out together, partied together, socialized, and then eventually we started dating.
They say he's so grown now, he looking like his daddy in. He Filipino, but he looking Trinidad.
Now I'd like to ask you, who is Kris, the business person? Because I know you have that business with weddings, but also you have this business with recording, and probably one of the most exciting thing was when you got invited also at the local radio station,
Right.
to talk about your music. So this question I want to ask you here is, who does people say Kris, Saint Kris, this is your name in the hip hop world? Who does people say Saint Kris is as a business person, as a recording artist, as a rapper, as a hip hop artist? So these are the people you work with.
Right.
What do they say? Who Kris is?
That's a tough one, actually. As a business person, I'm still learning the ropes. Do you know what I mean? Running your own business in any style is a little bit different. And so with the videography side and weddings or corporate events, I've been lucky to spread my name a little bit just through, referral friends of friends. In music, like you said, visiting radio stations before and stuff, that was fun, but still just kind of on my come up, on the way up, So I'm still learning a bit, and it's kind of hard to say what they would say about me as a businessman up to this point.
I was thinking, I want to throw this question to you because I saw that aside from your own solo performance that I was watching on YouTube, you have some collaborative work with other artists. I saw, I mentioned two of your songs that I like, but recently I was watching this collaboration you did with Rap Monster and Six Sigma.
Six Sigma, yeah.
I was just thinking there's 4 people there, but there's only 3 names on.
Yeah, Six Sigma is a group of 2.
Oh, that's why. Okay,
Yeah.
Six Sigma is a group of 2, and that's very inspirational. What's the title of that
It
song?
was Stay Strong.
Stay strong.
Right.
Stay strong. Carry on. It's very encouraging.
Right.
Like for someone who's struggling with whatever financial struggle, and a lot of young people today, high school kids, college kids, so many of them goes through depression.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a very, very uplifting, very encouraging song.
Right.
So that's why I want to ask you that question is I see that you collaborate with other people, and that means they want to work with you.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough. I've been lucky enough to gain some positive attention and meet cool guys like Rap Monster's a musical genius. Same with Six Sigma. They create some awesome music, and so that's why they were comfortable enough to approach me, knowing that I'm a fan of their music as well, and they approached me to do that song and raise some money for charity. And so I've been able to meet some. If you're a good person and try to treat everyone with respect, you get.
I really like your part there. We'll probably play on the background some of your part. My favorite part there was when you're walking through some. Was that like?
That was kind of a broken down building.
Yeah, and you're walking, and the framing of that, and just the cinematography and the motion.
Yeah. Like
the tracking motion. That fits very well for that song, for that whole composition.
Sure.
I like it.
We worked with a great director, Paul. His name is Paul Croak.
So how does this collaboration work? Who writes the music? Who starts? Who initiates? I guess there's...
So I believe it was Six Sigma and Rap Monster created the instrumental, I think.
And the lyrics?
And the lyrics, we all wrote our own parts.
Oh, your parts?
Yeah.
And it fits in as a whole narrative.
Yeah, because they gave me the theme and they created the theme and then we moved from there.
That's awesome. Because when you listen to it, it feels like it's a seamless...
Yeah, perfect.
A seamless narrative, but this was bits and pieces of all your minds put in together.
Right.
So that's my point, when you make a reputation in business, that's how it works. Like other people will see, you work well with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And we want to work with you.
You're right. It's a good point.
Do you have any other collaborative work that you've done other than I'm pretty sure probably there's, but that one kind of got my attention.
Yeah, I've actually collaborated with Rap Monster a couple times. Then I have other collaborations with my sister, Nikki Saint. She goes by. My cousin, Jay Miz. And also with his group out in Vancouver. They're called The Kids.
Yeah.
And so I've worked with them. You know, I'm pretty open to working with anyone. Worked with my brother-in-law, Jesse
awesome.
Lofthouse. So
Yeah, we gotta touch more about the
Manny
money. Manny Pacquiao?
No, no, Manny G. We call him. I couldn't forget to mention.
Sounds
him.
like a Filipino name. Is he Filipino? No, he's not.
Big, tall, skinny, white guy.
I like all the characters and I think I mentioned this to you before. If I was not doing this secular show, I'd probably be doing like Bible study or preaching. Because I'm like how do you say that in Catholic? An altar boy.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm an altar boy type, but I felt like I'm led to go secular. Well, the reason for that is I think that a lot of people don't realize it, but they're actually doing God's work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys are not probably intentionally saying, "Oh, let's pray and let's offer this to the Lord," but unintentionally you didn't realize that you're actually helping a lot of kids.
Right.
You know, encourage them, uplift their spirit because the lyrics of your song.
Yeah, I like that.
And we're gonna touch on some of the money aspect, but on this second segment. But I want to touch on a little bit on that right now because when you're collaborating. Is there like an accountant or like how does that work? How do you manage the expense and
right? It's all about communication, budgeting, and just staying with your word. So for a song like that, for example, all the money went to the charity, and that was discussed up front. So any purchases from iTunes and all that. So we knew that was just.
So you uploaded that on iTunes and people can still buy it until now?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, awesome.
And for example, the video shoot, we all chipped in to pay for it. You know.
So you guys shouldered the cost and then the revenues you gave to charity?
Yeah, that's it.
So did you at least make back your cost?
You know what? Yeah, it was a pretty popular song, so
okay, that's good.
So that was good. But yeah, it all just comes down to budgeting and I mean I guess there could be an accountant. You could call her my wife, who watches what goes in and goes out.
With numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just me and the mic, and the rhymes I recite. And I can't believe I did it. Don't ask questions. I'm scared to admit it. And maybe I should be admitted to the mental institution, cause these thoughts of pollution keep clouding up my judgment. But who gon' pass judgment? I'm thinking back to the pack I used to run with.
And when did you come to Toronto?
But now I'm on my
It was
solo.
roughly 2.5 years ago.
Because I want the Toronto people to get to know you, because you guys are big in Manitoba. I've been I've been following a lot of your collaboration, like I said, and your own solo productions. But I want people in Toronto to know you guys, and
appreciate it.
Hopefully we can interview some of your collaborators as well in the future.
Sure.
But so the big move to Toronto, right? And I remember you told me that your child was born here in Toronto.
That's right.
You guys, I guess you got married, and then what's the big move to Toronto? Why did you come to Toronto?
We moved here a couple years ago because my wife got her dream career opportunity out here.
Yeah.
She's a sports dietitian working with Olympians, provincial athletes.
Oh, awesome.
That. And so we moved here, felt like a whirlwind. We just packed up, moved out here, and just making our way, trying to figure it out.
It's like a big, it's kind of risky. It's a big risk.
Big risk.
It's a big step of faith.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
And what's the plan? What's that? What's the master plan? What's the idea? So you want to continue on with your productions here in Toronto?
In Toronto, I'm understanding now that, because everyone said, "Oh, you're going to Toronto. There's so much opportunity." But I didn't understand that at first because I didn't know anybody. I felt, where's the opportunity? I don't know anyone. I can't.
Well, we got some directors and some people who are already in the arts. I know some people who, hopefully they're watching and they're not ignoring my show just yet. But maybe this episode will get their attention.
You never know.
But there's a lot of viewers out there, and also there's a network of Filipino artists that.
Awesome.
I hope you take notice, guys, and I know you're looking for talent, but sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
But that's just kind of the idea, is it takes time to meet people, and then now I'm starting to understand there's so much opportunity here. It just, you have to be patient and find those avenues like this.
Hopefully this will be like a catalyst.
Hey.
Really, that's my prayer. That's my faith. And I hope really that the word gets out, and you get more network. You meet people, and please, if you like to collaborate with Kris and you like his work and you have some connection, please do contact us. And it's a good time to say to plug some of your connections here, your social media. Let's start with the website.
The website is saintkrismusic.com.
.com, and
so it's Saint,
yeah.
SAINT-KRIS.
Kris is spelled with a K.
That's right.
And you also have a YouTube channel,
Yeah, just Google Saint Kris.
Saint Kris,
Anywhere you'll find it. It all comes up. Twitter, Instagram, everything.
Instagram and Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
So please check it out. And one last question before we go to our break. And for our first break, I'd like to we'll introduce that song. The first one will be talking about Pretty Face,
Okay.
right? But this will be the last question for this segment. I want to ask you. Maybe there's two more. There's two more. What's the philosophy, or like what's the flow of? What's the message?
Message?
Is there a message in your songs, in
my music?
your music?
If I had to narrow it down, I think the message is just be you, be authentic,
That's
be real to yourself. My first project was called Extraordinary.
That's right.
Right, that kind of garnered your attention. Then
Extraordinary Joe.
right? The next one was called BYOB, Be Your Own Being.
That's right. Okay.
And my latest one was called 329, which is my house number where I grew up. And so it's all kind of just saying, like, you know,
Tell me a little bit about 329. So what's the message there? It's like because
I found the more I made music and the more I researched music, I was finding lots of people who aren't being
themselves.
I in my opinion, I felt like people find what the trend is and do that trend.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I wanted to create a title that nobody else would have.
Yeah,
And
it's your own.
that's my own. So
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And last question I want to ask you is I went through a lot of your songs, and for a couple of them, a few of them actually, there's reference to God and faith and prayer. And like I said, you know, this is a secular show and these are secular songs, but it's always sort of like bringing me back always to there's those references.
right. I went to I have a Catholic background. I went to a Christian college. So, God has always been there. Whether I'm trying to or not trying to, he's always there. So, I think it just comes out naturally in the music.
Because it's part of you.
when it's supposed to, yeah.
That's right.
But
And like I said, I think a lot of you folks, you don't realize it, but you're actually doing God's work. Like, you're encouraging a lot of young people,
Sure.
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this song that we're going to play right now for a
All
break. This song title is Pretty Face. Tell me a
Right.
little bit about how was this coordinated and who's in this shot.
Pretty Face was produced by Rep Monsta, who we mentioned before. He's also singing the hook. Just one night, it was I think it was after my release party. I met him through his girlfriend, and
Okay.
said, "You should work with my boyfriend. He's really talented." So we met up, listened to some music, and then just picked a couple songs and created Pretty Face was one of them. And then we liked the song so much, so we decided to shoot a music video for it.
Yeah.
And so that was just a music video at my friend Chris Watchhorn's cabin. We were all just there to have a good time. It was May long weekend. And then my friend Cam and Eric, who helped direct it, they are just creative and know their way around a camera, so they filmed and cut up the video.
I
for
remember
us.
you told me that you guys are pretty much, it didn't feel like work. You guys were actually having fun.
Yeah, we were just
Having
hanging out.
picnics.
Yeah,
It was an excursion. You're having fun on the boat.
yeah,
But at the same time, because it's second nature for you guys to be musical.
Yeah.
You were playing music and you were singing your songs.
yeah. course.
That's the life.
Yeah, it was a good.
And there's a
weekend.
lot of beautiful women too.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have
And
good
you are
friends.
very lucky because
I have
one of
good
those
friends.
beautiful women ends up to be. Were you already married there? Or you
No,
were dating?
I don't think we were married there. Yeah,
So you're dating.
yeah,
Yeah, and you end up with one of them beautiful ladies
that's right.
to be your wife. You're a lucky man, aren't you?
I am.
Let's check it out, and we'll take a break right here and enjoy this song "Pretty Face." The lyric I love about the "Pretty Face," the lyrical awesomeness I found it is I think the message is you can't be with them, but you can't live without them. It's like I remember some of the lyrics,
Yeah.
the Lulus, what is what is Lulu?
The lemons, the Lulus.
The lemons, the Lulus.
is a brand that all girls wear.
That's right. Yeah, I know Lululemon.
So
The lemons, the boohoos.
Yeah,
What
the
else are
brand.
there? But then at a moment of weakness,
I
you
looked
saw.
in her eye and saw a moment of sweetness.
Oh my god, so romantic. I didn't know rap music, hip hop can be so romantic. I never associated. So let's enjoy this this music right now as we get into our break. And this is your music, "Pretty Face"
Pretty Face by Saint Kris
by Saint
and
Kris
Rep Monster.
and Rock Monster.
The first time that I saw you, I ignored you and your pretty face.
Yeah, I checked her out. She was fine and all. I heard good things that she was kind and all, but I never did try to make her mine at all. I didn't want the headaches or the Tylenol. You feel me? You gotta have patience for this kind of girl. The girl was high maintenance. The late nights, the fighting, the crying, the boo-hoo. She try on, she bite all the lemons, the Lulus, yeah. And I didn't need all that in the phone and the texting me to call back. Plus I heard that her ex is trying to crawl back, so I guess that it's best for me to fall back, yeah. Yo, that's alright, I mean I say it again. Yo, she not my type, but then just one time, in a moment of weakness, I looked in her eyes, saw a moment of sweetness. Damn.
The first time that I saw you, I ignored you and your pretty face. But now I'm focused on you, girl. It's kinda funny it was going south, but now it's looking like it's turning out. Word. I opened up my eyes to my surprise. I saw your pretty face, and now I'm focused on you, girl.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I kinda ignored you. Times changed, now I kinda adore you. Ain't a thing that I wouldn't do for you, but now that I'm on it, it's like you don't want it. What, now you can't see me? All you want now is men that's in 3D. All aggressive, coming right at you. Never thought you'd want that, never thought I'd have to. What you wanna date, that dude? What you wanna date, him? Yo, I could work out too. I could hit the gym, I could go to school and I could go to work and still find the time, yeah, the time you deserve. And I'll make mistakes, but I'll learn my lessons. I'll pay for dinner and pay attention, yeah.
The first time that I saw you, I ignored you and your pretty face. But now I'm focused on you, girl. It's kinda funny it was going south, but now it's looking like it's turning out. Word. I opened up my eyes to my surprise. I saw your pretty face, and now I'm focused on you, girl.
And welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed "Pretty Face" by Saint Kris. You saw all the pretty faces there, and one of the prettiest face.
Oh,
I think it's your wife. You pointed out. Which one is it?
so maybe I shouldn't tell you guys, but she's wearing a purple bathing suit, brunette. I think she might be the only brunette in the whole video. So
And I know your wife is watching this episode, so
right.
I want to assure everybody that's why I said that. That's the prettiest face I saw there in that video, and I'm being honest.
there we go.
And
Hi, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for keeping in touch with us and sharing and liking our videos. Please mark your calendars. We will continue on with our conversation with Saint Kris next week, Friday, May 12th, same time, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Pacific. Saint Kris will be talking to us about the human capital, which is the emotional and intellectual capital, the artistic capital, and the financial capital that you need to consider if you are serious at trying to get your feet wet into recording your own art. And please don't forget to share our videos in your social media networks. And please do subscribe, like, share, and follow us on our Facebook page and subscribe on our YouTube channels. God bless you all, and thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for sharing.